laying down the gauntlet. So, there's some tragic people here who will run you over the brakes right now.
All right, be gentle.
That will be nice.
So, for the purposes of our recording, can you state your name and what you do?
Rick Morales, director, Lego Justice League, Cosmic Clash.
Actually, I got to ask you this. Since this is your first Comic-Con, what do you think of it so far? New York Comic-Con, what do you think of it so far?
I think it's fantastic. I haven't explored a lot yet. I've just been doing the press, but I can't wait to get out on the floor and check it out. Yeah. New York in general, this is my first time here, so it's really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the things I was curious about was doing a big Brainiac story. Were there any specific comics that you read to get inspired, or?
I don't think there were. Not in my case, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're familiar with Brainiac from years and years of working on this stuff, and I think Jim and Brandon came up with a unique, funny take on the character.
Yeah.
So, as you probably know, the video game Lego Batman 3 just did a Brainiac story. Now you guys are at Lego doing a Brainiac story. How was it kind of going from that and basically kind of similarities and differences basically between you guys and the Lego thing? How did you
you know what?
For
my part, we didn't have a lot of back and forth. We didn't have any back and forth with them at all. And obviously, we start working on these things. When did we start working on this? A year and a half ago. So it wasn't like a simultaneous thing as far as like synergy and stuff like that goes. So there wasn't too much back and forth. As a matter of fact, I do recall there being a little bit of like, oh, they're doing Brainiac in the game. So
Brainiac just super hot right now. All those Brainiac shirts at Hot Topic.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So getting into doing Batman, where did you start with your comic experience? What was your first comic book as a kid and work your way up?
My first comic book as a kid, I think it was an issue of The Flash, but the one that really got me collecting comics was an issue of Uncanny X-Men. In fact, it was Jim Lee's first issue. And I still remember the number. It was Uncanny X-Men number 248. So there you go.
Is there, as a comic book reader, is there anything that you are reading right now, or even watching or listening to right now, that you wish more people were interested in?
Interested in? I'm reading the Star Wars books right now. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so and Stuart Immonen, I love his stuff, so I'm into that. And I've been reading the Hickman Secret Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. In fact, I'm going back and reading his Fantastic Four run, which is...
Oh, yeah, I just finished
there you
that.
go. That's something that people should read. It's mind-bending. Yeah.
I know before you directed things, and actually you're probably still doing it as well. I mean, you've done storyboard art for a lot of different cartoons. Do you think that's, very good preparation for a director? And does that help inform you as you're working with artists now?
Yeah, I mean, as a storyboard artist, you're basically a mini director. You get your script pages, and obviously you're working in tandem with your director, but you get to kind of work on your section of the film or the show or whatever, and really craft that. And I think that's the preparation that you kind of need to be a director. So yeah, I mean, generally speaking, directors in television animation start off doing storyboards.
With so many different versions of Batman and all these kind of superheroes around, how hard is it to kind of figure out what are the best elements to tell in a story meant for children?
Well, I think Batman is a character that lends himself to so many different interpretations. There's the really dark stuff, and then there's the brave and the bold. And it all kind of works. He's, over the course of his history, he's been so many things. So I think this is kind of a natural fit for these characters. For Batman and Superman, it's just I was saying that it's really just we have a lot of respect for these characters. We're all comic book fans, and it's taking these iconic characters that we know. Everybody knows Batman, everybody knows Superman. They kind of know their personalities, and just tweaking it a little bit, pushing it a little bit further to find some comedy in it. Batman, it's his suspicious nature is the kind of thing that we keyed in on a little bit, for this take on it. So.
As a quick follow-up, so is there going to be a flashback scene to see what the Waynes get murdered or deep brick something?
I don't think I should talk about that.
Relating to the comedy of the Lego films, it's not the first time it's come up. Like you were mentioning Brave and the Bold, and there's Teen Titans Go as well. How do you think? Do you think the approach to humor is a bit different from those, or are you kind of going for the same?
No, it's different. It's definitely different. I mean, Brave and the Bold was a little more camp. This is lighter. Lego has kind of its own sort of brand of humor, and this stuff I think is a little bit faster paced. When you watch it, it's try to get one gag after another, as best we can. So it definitely, and then just the fact that you're working with Lego, you have to try to find some humor that pertains to brick building.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the most challenging thing about making these is, what can we do that involves brick building? What's a gag that we can come up with that hasn't been done yet?
Speaking of, do you have any big comedy influences that have affected these movies?
Comedy influence that affected these movies? I don't know. I mean,
or just anything that you grew up on that sort of affected your personal taste?
Well, you know what? I like a lot of kind of weirder stuff. The State and stuff like that. I've been watching Wet Hot American Summer. It's completely different sort of humor than what we're doing here. So I don't know.
With your Brainiac and Batman having such overabundant personalities, how easy is it to provide direction and guide them through the production, or do they kind of do it themselves and you nudge them in a direction one way or the other?
Voice actors or artists?
Both.
Well, I mean, the voice actors are, they come in pretty early in the process, and at this point, these guys, I mean, they're such professionals, and Troy and Nolan, they know the characters so well at this point that that part of it is easy. The part of it from a directing point of view, luckily I had a great team of storyboard artists to work with here. But it's just kind of guiding them, to not go off character, to kind of stay within the world that we're, a lot of people want to do the Dark Knight Batman, so you kind of try to rein them into doing our Batman as opposed to, the one that's kind of more ubiquitous right now.
One of the things that people love about Lego Justice League is that you guys find ways to use so many of these obscure DC characters. Like, I know Legion of Superheroes is going to be in the upcoming movie.
Yeah.
Are there any characters that you are particularly excited about appearing in this movie? Any characters you really want to do in the future, or that you have fought to put in and have not been able to use yet?
That we haven't been able to use yet? I don't think there's anyone that I'm chomping at the bit to get in there that we haven't used. But I was excited to do Brainiac in this one because of the take that we had on him. I mean, at this point, I've been fortunate enough to kind of play with all the DC characters that I've kind of wanted to through the years. So for me, it was like, what is the fun new aspect that we can do with this character? So that was kind of it for me. Who would I want to do? What's that?
Take your pick. Do a movie about anybody.
Do a movie about anybody. You know what? I really liked. We had a little bit with Deathstroke in the last film.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be fun to see more of.
Is there anything specific with this film that you wanted to do, to kind of put your mark on it, make it stand out, from the other ones?
I don't know. I mean, I think the the thing that I kind of want to get across is that we're progressing. That this one is bigger, wilder, funnier, more exciting than the last ones. You know, this is I think from the outside view, it looks like a simple project because it's Lego, but it's not. It's a lot more difficult than you would imagine it to be. Yeah. There's so many different aspects, the action and the comedy that you're dealing with. So for me, I just wanted a more like a bigger world, a funner universe, and hopefully it's funnier.
What's next for you?
I don't know if I can say. I don't think I'm at liberty to say, honestly.
Not even the format of the project?
Well, there will be more Lego. Let's say that.
Is continuity something you guys think about, or building a story with these characters overall, or just what's bigger and funnier and crazier?
There's definitely a continuity to these films.
Yeah.
And we track character progression. So if you start from the first one and work your way through to this one, there are definitely character arcs and relationship arcs that happen, and that we pay off and that we develop. So yeah, that part of it is gratifying.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, man. That was awesome.
Thank you very much.